Now on Fox 9, reaction continues to pour in after last night's California recall election with Governor Gavin Newsom keeping his seat. We'll check in on local reaction with residents in Imperial Valley. And we speak with locals about the White House's latest vaccine requirements and how it will affect businesses both big and small. Plus, September is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, how Yuma Regional Medical Center is raising awareness with the Shine a Light campaign, now on Nightside.
You're watching Nightside on Fox 9, your only news at 9 p.m.
Even though ballots are still being tallied, the California recall election is over. Governor Newsom is still projected to stay in office. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Adam Klepp. As of now, 61% of voters in Imperial County voted no on the recall. Vince Ibarra continues our coverage and looks at voter turnout in Imperial County.
Good evening. Officials tell me that only 16% of registered voters in Imperial County submitted their ballot, and they're saying low voter turnout is a major concern.
It appears we are enjoying an overwhelmingly no vote tonight here in the state of California.
Californians showed up for the recall election, keeping Governor Newsom in office. But the concern for Imperial County officials is the low voter turnout.
In this election, especially coming out of, still in this pandemic, and also the suddenness of this recall, right? It was kind of sudden and everything moved really fast. So I think there's lessons learned from this.
Rebelar says the administration office will do more outreach when it comes to future elections, hoping to increase voter turnout in Imperial County. And now that the governor will stay in office, San Diego State political science professor Ben Gonzalez O'Brien says this is a huge win for many Californians.
I think this is a pretty big win for Californians who were concerned about COVID-19.
Gonzalez O'Brien says this is also a win for the Democratic Party. After spending millions of dollars on this recall election, in 2022, Governor Newsom will be up for re-election. Newsom should be feeling confident.
If you're Newsom, you just wipe the floor with a whole bunch of very viable GOP candidates by a really big margin.
Republican candidate Larry Elder was a front runner to replace Governor Newsom, and it seems that he has plans to stay in the spotlight. We'll see if he's picked for the Republican Party ticket to once again run against Governor Newsom. Reporting in studio, I'm Vince Ibarra.
Well, thank you, Vince. Another look now at the unofficial results. There were 46 people on the ballot, so here's what Imperial County residents thought of the other candidates. Larry Elder in the lead with a 47% vote. Not pictured is Democrat Brandon Ross, who was a distant second with 8% of the Imperial County vote. Kevin Pathrath at 6% and Caitlyn Jenner getting 3% of the vote in Imperial County, 2% higher than her statewide numbers. As for results from the entire state, 64% voted to keep Newsom in office. That's a little more than 5.8 million votes. 36% of the voters say yes to the recall. That is a little more than 3.2 million votes. As for Newsom's top competitors statewide, Larry Elder still leads in the state for the Republican Party with 47% of the vote. Kevin Pathrath makes up 10% of the votes. Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer is in third place right now, and this is pretty similar to Imperial County. Well, tonight the president announcing new vaccine mandates for businesses, and we have the local reaction. This comes after Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich filed the first lawsuit against the Biden administration for those very mandates. The latest requires businesses with more than 100 employees to make it mandatory to get vaccinated. While many remain split on the issue, we spoke to one resident who supports the requirement, all in hopes this puts an end to this global health emergency.
I don't know. I just think everyone needs to get vaccinated, no matter who, we got to keep everybody safe. Under the guise of safety, we have to make sure, everyone gets forward.
Employees do have the option of testing weekly, but if you don't have the vaccine and aren't getting tested, businesses that don't enforce the mandate face fines of thousands of dollars per employee. And tonight, Pfizer says new data shows booster shots may be needed 6 months after the primary doses. The data comes right before the FDA's advisory committee is set to discuss the company's application for COVID-19 booster shots. Pfizer-BioNTech says a third shot will be safe and necessary for most Americans to take. Early data suggests the effectiveness of the company's vaccine decreases after 6 to 8 months, and getting a booster shot around that time will help maintain a high level of protection. On Friday, the advisory committee will be asked to vote on whether a booster dose is necessary to improve protection levels. Well, we are seeing more progress every day when it comes to the vaccine rollout. 483 doses administered in Yuma County, 634 given in the Valley. and 29 new cases are being reported today in Yuma County. And sadly, one additional death. There were 6 more deaths just yesterday. For more perspective, 1 in every 500 U.S. residents have died of COVID-19. Imperial County reporting their figures weekly. Staying on health news, September is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the foundation of Yuma Regional Medical Center is looking to shine a light on the cause. Cody Lee joins us with how you can also go gold.
The community of YRMC is known for its outreach to the community when people face difficult times. Now the goal is to provide critical resources, all while sending a message of hope to local children facing a terrible illness. Now till the end of the month, the hospital will be lit up in gold to support families who have a young one dealing with cancer. The foundation has set up a fund to benefit families who may have to travel out of town for doctor's appointments and treatment.
That's an additional financial burden. And that was really one of the driving forces for establishing this fund.
Jackie Woodwell, the foundation director, says this cause is often underrepresented.
Childhood cancer is underfunded, with only 4% of our research budget going towards childhood cancer research. So we really want people to be aware, and we really want families throughout Yuma County to know that this community is standing behind them and with them in their fight.
The foundation hopes families understand there is assistance out there.
It's really simple. The only criteria is that the patient be under the age of 21 and that they live in Yuma County to be qualified to receive financial contributions.
You at home can get involved by lighting the city in support. And if you make a donation to the fund, the foundation has a gold light bulb waiting for you. They're encouraging you to light up your porch in gold so the entire community can see and enjoy the sign of support to the youngest cancer patients in our area. Reporting in the newsroom, Cody Lee, News 11, back to you.
Thank you for that, Cody. To the border now, the El Centro sector rescued another migrant who was lost in the Jacumba area this morning. California Highway Patrol alerted agents to the man, and he was rescued a few hours later. The migrant came from Mexico and was found about 5 miles away from the border. He was taken to be processed. This marks the 332nd rescue in the El Centro sector just this fiscal year. In the meantime, a Department of Homeland Security source says U.S.-Mexico border arrests went down a bit last month. However, arrests are still high as the Biden administration grappled with tens of thousands of arrests at the border in August. DHS hasn't released the official data yet, but the source says CBP had more than 208,000 encounters in August. That includes arrests for unlawful border crossings and people turned away from the U.S. at ports of entry. The number was 212,000 a month earlier. However, July isn't the best basis for comparison as it marked the highest monthly number of migrants detained at the border in 2 decades. Officials don't publicly comment on monthly border numbers until they are officially released. Authorities are investigating a string of vehicle burglaries in the Sun Valley Estates. The Yuma County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to a call yesterday of a suspicious person opening people's car doors in the neighborhood. They found evidence showing multiple vehicles were burglarized. YCSO does have security footage, but are asking anyone with information to contact them immediately. You can also dial 78 Crime to remain anonymous. Well, the Yuma Police Department invited the public to call in and offer comments on the agency's policy and training methods this afternoon. This is all part of an accreditation process happening on site at YPD today and tomorrow. YPD is seeking accreditation through the Arizona Association of Chiefs of Police. Accreditation is a precise review of YPD's policies, operations, and training methods that should meet recognized standards of excellence. The agency voluntarily requests an accreditation process. It provides law enforcement with the opportunity to demonstrate its compliance with these standards and also reassure and obtain public trust. Well, now to Rob with our first look at weather.
All right, thank you very much, Adam. As we take a look at what we're seeing outside, we got your RV World Yuma Skycam. We got, oh yeah, police siren going off on 4th Avenue. Just a little tip there as far as what we're dealing with current event-wise. But yes, beyond the traffic, beyond the police sirens, yes, we definitely have their headlines. We're going to be turning the temperatures down, maybe minutely tonight. And then we're going to continue that trend for the near future as well. The question is, are we going to be much nicer as we get on into your Friday? One can only hope, Adam.
Well, looking forward to that later. Rob, next on Fox 9, though, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and we want to put a spotlight On Our Latinos in Our Community, we sit down with a local artist who's making a difference.
Oh, my new bigger, crispier cluck sandwich.
Just tell me you're not going to go overboard with the marketing.
No.
You're fully clucked out, aren't you?
Try my $6.99 cluck sandwich combo. Download the Jack app today.
Next, all new Drew from Hollywood. She's one of the most talented and creative people in music. She's changed it as we know it. Billie Eilish, a very candid exclusive. Plus, a 51st date surprise. We are about to crash a screening. Hi, everybody. Only on Drew.
With high summer temperatures quickly approaching, right now is a great time to prepare with our excellent electric screens. They'll make your home look great and keep you cool while adding value to your home and helping out your electric bill. No job is too small or too large. Keep lower temperatures within your home or business with our custom-fitted electric screens. Specialty Sewing Center, Yuma's #1 choice.
Locally owned and operated since 1999.
Check out the rest.
Then come to the best.
It was quiet for too long. Now college football is back. And so is the noise. Wow. Bring on the rivalries. Hold down the fort.
Unbelievable!
Feel what you've been missing. College football on Fox. And streaming on the Fox Sports app.
All new Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox.
My new better than ever cluck sandwich with a bigger, crispier, juicier filet, bigger pickles, more mystery sauce, and an extremely serious crunch. I'm kind of a big fan. Try my bigger, crispier new cluck sandwich combo for $6.99. Download the Jack app today.
Chris Wallace on Fox News Sunday, breaking down the biggest issues impacting our nation and asking the critical questions America needs answers to. Only on Fox News Sunday.
Hi, I'm Dominique Newland. Tomorrow on Sunrise, as the pandemic continues to put a strain on hospitals across the country, we're getting an inside look at COVID-19 units in other states, how hospitals are getting overwhelmed. Plus, online retail giant Amazon is planning to hire 125,000 workers. The e-commerce is looking for applicants in hundreds of cities and towns across the country. These stories and more tomorrow on Sunrise.
You're watching Nightside on Fox 9, your only news at 9 p.m.
Well, welcome back to Nightside. Thanks for joining us. September is Hispanic Heritage Month, and we want to spotlight the countless Latinos in our community who have made an impact on the desert Southwest. Fox 9's Adonis Albright sat down with a local painter whose art is shaping the youth one brushstroke at a time.
Being Mexican and also American helps me so I can communicate for both of the communities.
Vanessa Iturbide was raised in Mexicali. She's a graphic designer, painter, and a photographer. In her spare time, she's also an art instructor.
Every day they teach me something, and every day they surprise me of what they're capable to do.
Being raised in both cultures, Iturbide says the importance of Hispanic Heritage Month is being able to portray the beauty of Mexican culture alongside her American heritage.
That is unique and very rich that we have to share and be proud of it.
And Iturbide's message to her community this Hispanic Heritage Month: be you and be proud.
Embrace it and show it off and don't be afraid of it.
Adonis Albright, Fox 9.
Well, thanks, Adonis, and keep it here on Fox 9. We'll bring you an interview each week through October 15th where we speak with locals in our community about the importance of Hispanic Heritage Month. Well, ag is the #1 industry in Yuma County, and you already knew that, but across the desert Southwest, outside threats are harming the future of ag here and across the country. Labor shortage in the fields and government regulation play big roles in a world that continues to get wealthier in other sectors, making the ratio between cost and profit difficult for farmers, leaving agriculture behind in many ways. And that doesn't include the threat of global climate change and the competition for scarce water. However, downward trends in agriculture as an employer and an economic engine in the U.S. should not be taken as signs that the industry is going away, especially in Yuma. With its rich fields and the longest growing season in the country, Yuma County has managed to separate itself above the pack.
The opportunities that we have in Yuma to farm are
pretty remarkable. It's beyond a unique place. It's a special place that there's really no other place like it in our country, and not very many places like it around the world.
So tune in tomorrow on the early edition as Sunrise anchor Cole Johnson brings us a special report on how Yuma continues to grow as an agricultural haven while the rest of the country struggles to keep ag alive. We're looking forward to that, and with the high heat early in the week, could we be getting a break from it soon? Rob Fram is up after the break with your full weather forecast.
Huh. This looks really nice. Doesn't look like a used car to me. It's Toyota certified, so it's all checked out. Like this style. And it comes with great warranties. Plus, with the deal they've got going, it's too good to pass up. What do they say? The best new cars make the best used cars? Oh yeah, I'm taking this one home.
We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Explore the great outdoors this fall with Kokopah Casino. We're giving away over $125,000 in cash and prizes. Over 300 outdoor items like barbecues, tents, and more. And one lucky winner will go home with a 2021 Forest River travel trailer. Earn entries daily by playing your favorite slots and table games with your rewards card. If you're not a member, just drop by the Kokopah Rewards Club and get your card. Membership is free. Winning is just around the corner at Kokopah Casino and Resort, South Highway 95 in Somerton.
It's safe to say that a great day's work starts with a great night's sleep. So no matter what kind of job you have, Denver Mattress has the right mattress for you. So shop the extended Labor Day sale today, because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the Summit Firm, now only $299.99. Or save up to $200 on our Doctor's Choice lineup. Score 2 Doctor's Choice pillows for only $69.99, plus 7 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Yo, you ready?
Dude, I'm in class. You got nothing.
Long hair goals? Save that last inch. L-Vibe Dream Lengths with a cocktail of vitamins and fine castor oil. Strengthens hair's length and helps seal split ends. Now with more complete long hair care. L-Vibe Dream Lengths from L'Oreal Paris. You're worth it.
Hi, I'm Dominique Newland. Tomorrow on Sunrise, as the pandemic continues to put a strain on hospitals across the country, we're getting an inside look at COVID-19 units in other states, how hospitals are getting overwhelmed. Plus, online retail giant Amazon is planning to hire 125,000 workers. The e-commerce is looking for applicants in hundreds of cities and towns across the country. These stories and more tomorrow on Sunrise.
Now, your Weather Authority local forecast.
Got another quiet day out on the farm, as they say. Yes, definitely an inactive weather pattern going on as far as, well, showers and thunderstorms are concerned. The heat certainly active once again on this Wednesday. Let's take a look at what we're seeing outside with your RV World Yuma Sky Cam. We got the bright lights of the city of Yuma on full display here, and here's what else we have on full display, or really what we don't have, because you know, we're used to seeing at least a little bit of pop, and we've actually seen minute traces of it over in southeastern to eastern Arizona earlier today, but that is as close as we've gotten to any activity whatsoever, and you can see the wind speeds definitely at a minimum. We've had a little bit of activity further to the north earlier. It's picked up a little bit in the Imperial Valley from Ocotillo to El Centro. We're talking 10 to 20 miles per hour at this particular time. Temperatures as they stand right now, we're talking low to mid 90s through and through. So we're still a bit on the high end of things. But as far as the heat indices is concerned, it's really not a concern. So even though those temperatures are in the mid 90s, it's feeling in some cases several degrees less hot than what that actually is. So that's some pretty good news in that particular respect. Now the remnants of Nicholas continue to wreak havoc on the Gulf Coast areas. In this case, we're talking about southern to southeastern Louisiana, stretching into Mississippi and Alabama as well. So flood concerns remain down that way. But then as we get on into your future cast, high pressure continues to hang around to some degree. I mean, it's affecting us obviously, but not to the degree it was just 2 days ago. So we're thankful for that, and that ridge continues to just hang out. And then of course we get that disturbance that rolls in. That's going to bring some milder air into the phrase. So by Friday, we should feel a bit of a difference in a positive way. So that's something to certainly hang your hat on for sure. Your Metrocast, 83 degrees by 8 a.m. By the time we get to the mid-afternoon, we'll be at 103. And then we start to drop the temperatures a little bit as we get on to the 7 p.m. hour. Now, here's a look at your air quality index brought to you by the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District. And we've kind of flipped the script. For the most part, earlier today, it was good for the most part. Now we've shifted to more of a moderate tone in regards to the air quality in the Imperial Valley. But all in all, not a bad deal for us whatsoever. And for your polar cooling extended forecast, you can see we are going to keep another day of higher than normal heat, but then it's going to fade as we get on into Friday very quickly because we have a disturbance that's going to roll through that's going to allow our temperatures to be below normal, and we should keep that tone as we get on into next week as well. So we're making the transition into later September, and keep in mind, next Wednesday is the official start of the fall season. So, Adam, we're all looking forward to that, and we're looking for it to feel more like it as well.
Yeah, hopefully it feels like fall. That's the real trick. And also thinking of all those in the Gulf Coast who dealing with this flooding so soon after Ida. But this year's Rocky Mountain Emmy nominees have been announced, and one of our local high school students was just selected. We sit down with him to speak about this big accomplishment.
Fox 9 News at 9 p.m. is sponsored by Cocopa Casino and Resort.
A Ford built for you, by you. Get yours, built from the ground up with your choice of colors, wheels, and other available features specifically designed for your Ford. Want a head-up display in Escape, 5 GOAT modes in Bronco Sport, or best-in-class gas torque in a Ranger? You got it. And now an extra $1,000 bonus cash on top of all public offers. See your dealer for a Ford built for you, by you. Build and order your select Ford today and get $1,000 bonus cash in addition to all public offers.
At El Centro Regional Medical Center, we're ready and open to care for you and your family. We want to assure you that ECRMC is doing everything possible to keep you safe and healthy. As part of these efforts, we now offer the convenience of telemedicine. Skip the waiting room and visit your doctor on your phone, tablet, or computer instead. Don't delay the care you need. Make an appointment today by calling us at 760-482-5000. ECRMC, open to care.
Subway has so much new, they couldn't fit it in their last ad, so we're going to have to go fast. Ready? There's new steak, deli-style turkey, Belgioso, fresh mozzarella, hickory smoked bacon, new hearty multigrain, and Steph Curry juggling avocados for some reason. Dang, that's too much for 15 seconds.
What's the big deal about a first quarter kickoff? Well, everything. if you're on FanDuel Sportsbook. Make football more than a game of inches. Make kickers feel like quarterbacks. Every touchback feel like a touchdown. And every small moment like this one, a chance to win big. Make every moment more this NFL season with FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers get a risk-free bet up to $1,000.
The FDA granting full approval.
Now that the Pfizer COVID vaccine is approved in the U.S., does it change anything in the desert Southwest? YRMC speaks out about what the significance is locally and what they're planning to do about patients currently in the ICU.
All the patients in ICU are not vaccinated, and all the deaths we have seen in the last 90 days are again in non-vaccinated.
And if the vaccine is helping those in their care.
It was 1968, the year I turned 12.
It's Shane! Stop it! Stop! Say you're sorry!
Man, she's tough. I know. I dig it.
With a Honda in your garage, every summer adventure leads to another. Get an incredible summer offer on a new Honda, only at the Honda Summer Sales Event.
Ready, set, go.
REO Speedwagon celebrates the 40th anniversary of High Infidelity. Saturday, September 18th, Quichon Casino Resort. All those legendary hits live in concert. REO Speedwagon with special guest Sir Please. Tickets on sale now at playqcr.com and the casino box office. REO Speedwagon.
Hi, I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. Saving for higher education is easier than you think. For the cost of a few cups of coffee each month, you can begin investing in an AZ 529 education savings plan. By the time your child is graduating high school, you can have the savings to pay for their tuition, books, fees, and more. So visit az529.gov and start brewing up your savings plan today.
Hi, I'm Dominique Newland. Tomorrow on Sunrise, as the pandemic continues to put a strain on hospitals across the country, we're getting an inside look at COVID-19 units in other states, how hospitals are getting overwhelmed. Plus, online retail giant Amazon is planning to hire 125,000 workers. The e-commerce is looking for applicants in hundreds of cities and towns across the country. These stories and more tomorrow on Sunrise.
Well, in tonight's Consumer Watch, a person's good intentions may be like blood in the water for scammers. With Mother Nature on a rampage across the globe, nonprofits have been reaching out for aid. But our partners at the Better Business Bureau say an increase in compassion tends to catch the attention of the wrong people. That's why the Community Development Director for the BBB says you have to give with your head, but not your heart.
Yuma and Imperial counties are giving communities. When something goes wrong, these communities want to step up to the plate and help on out. Visit give.org to connect to trusted charities and organizations to make sure that you do the proper research to know where your money is going to do the most good.
Welcome back to travelers and Disney enthusiasts can now book a stay at the Winnie the Pooh themed house. They're calling it the Bear B&B, situated in the Ashdown Forest in England, otherwise known as the 100-Acre Wood. The Bear B&B brings Pooh's story to life by taking inspiration from the original decorations of E.H. Shepard. Well, that's going to do it tonight for Fox 9. Thanks as always for joining us, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow night.